All right, what's up? I'm still practicing. I'm not going to record again. Yeah, good. All right, and we'll get the show on the road too. Okay. Does anybody have? I guess what we're going to do is we're going to make a Cacio e Pepe, which is essentially a famous pasta dish with Parm. I don't think it's Parmigiano though. I think it's officially made with Pecorino Romano, but we're using Parmigiano. Olive oil, a really nice olive oil, and cracked pepper. Which, in pasta, by the way, like a spaghetti, it sounds incredible, and it is. However, today we reverse engineered it for pizza. I think we got this idea from somebody else. I forget, an Italian.
One of the guys in like one of the magazines.
Yeah, it was Food and Wine, Ice Cube Trick. Is that where we got the Ice Cube? Yeah, we got the Ice Cube Trick from him. It's really cool. In any case, that's the pizza we're making. And so we're going to go through all the steps. And if you guys have any questions, just ask along the way. I'll pause a few times. First things first, the oven has been preheating the monogram at 450 degrees. This is a new technique that we've been doing. We preheated at 450 because, and I'll explain why in a second, I've got a steel on the top rack, and I've got a steel on the bottom rack. 450 degrees for 1 hour. We want that steel super hot. But we do it at 450 because when I go to use the broiler later on, we've discovered that the broiler kicks in almost immediately when we preheat at 450. If I preheat at 500 or 550 and I put the broiler on, we find there's a really long delay because the oven is too hot. So it takes several minutes for it to really kick back down and kick the broiler on. So we've tricked it. It's Wacky Wednesday anyway, so why not, right? 450, okay? Now, gas ovens are a entirely different animal. We find with gas ovens, you don't need to do that. You turn the broiler on, it goes on. So anyway, it's a really nice trick to learn. Huge, major breakthrough. In fact, we should have a news conference on that, right? In any case, that's where we are. All right, so while I'm preheating my oven, I take my dough out of the fridge because cold dough is not cool. We need it to get back to room temperature. And just like our bodies, when our bodies are cold, we're stiff. So when we take the dough out, it's stiff. Let it relax at room temperature for at least an hour or maybe 2. And it helps those glutens really chill out. And so it becomes much easier to stretch. With me so far? Okay. So that's what we've done before you guys got here. And then we got our mise en place. Today, really simple. We've got Parm Reggiano. It's a really hard Parmesan cheese, aged like 5 years or something, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, 3 years. Whatever.
I crack my own pepper, recycling my container here, but cracked peppercorns, and then a good olive oil. I know good olive oil shouldn't be stored in light containers. I just poured this in. It's a good olive oil. Okay, that's it. And then the secret ingredient. Should we cue the ice cubes? Cue the secret ingredient today for pizza, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but it will shortly. Ice cubes, right? Can you guys see this? Ice cubes. We're using ice cubes on our pizza dough. Why, do you ask? Well, if you've known us for a while, you've seen this trick before, but for the new people, but we're making a pizza, basically, essentially baking it naked with nothing on top. And so the ice cubes weigh it down so it won't blow up like pita bread. But secondly, and almost just as important, is it's going to prevent the center of the pizza dough from browning or turning black from charring too much. So it's a really nice secret that keeps that center of the pizza creamy. And when we put our olive oil and cheese on, beautiful. All right, just like a nice bread. All right, you with me? All right, let's make pizza. And are there any questions yet before I get into it? Once we get into it. Okay. When we get into this, we'll just start making pizza. So let's do this. I'm going to switch the screen down Boom, so you guys can see what's going on. And now what we're gonna do, grab my dough. So I like to always a bunch of flour in front. Don't be shy with this, okay? And that's the same flour that's used in the pizza dough, anybody asks. And now for my dough, got a 72, actually this is beyond 72 hours. This is actually like a 4 or 5 day dough. I'm putting into the pile of flour. I'm gonna both sides coat it, right? That just prevents it from being stuck. And now what I'm gonna do is literally just kind of press it out. And it feels like a cloud, okay? When I get to be about 4 or 5 or 6 inches, like a circle, I'm gonna pick it up and let gravity do its thing now. And I do that by kind of putting my hands at the back of the dough and turn it. You can see how it's starting to stretch a little bit. Because now the glutens are so relaxed and chilled out, it's stretching beautifully, super easy. Love that sound. And I've already got it to be about 8 or 9 inches here, you can see. Okay, so now the pizza peel. This is a must-have piece of equipment, okay? I prefer wood over metal because it helps whisk away some of the moisture. I flour it up, dust it around. I use a little bit of semolina flour, right? And I just brush that around. Think of the flour and the semolina flour as my ball bearing. When I place my dough on top, it's gonna slide on top of those ball bearings. So watch this. Take my dough, right? Place it on top. You can see this, and I just let it slide back and forth. It's sliding like a hockey puck. If it doesn't slide, there's gonna be an area that's gonna have a little bit of trouble. I'll just pick up that corner, right? And I'll just stick some more flour underneath it, just like that, okay? That's it. Super easy, but if you look at this dough, it's got all these nice little bubbles going on, right? It's beautiful. I can smell the aroma, it's beautiful. But now what I'm gonna do, because my pizza is just about done, this pizza is so simple, I'm gonna turn my oven on to broil, okay? I'm gonna wait for that broiler element to turn red inside my oven. I want this to turn red, and then what I can do is launch the pizza in, okay? But for this pizza, all I'm gonna do is take, and I can pinch these sides a little bit if I want, make it a little bit bigger, right? Pretty basic so far. I'm gonna take a few ice cubes, boom, maybe 4, 3, 4. We get enough, Chef? What do you guys think? Thumbs up, is that good?
It's good.
Before I do anything else, I'm gonna give it a little shake again. It's still loose, it's still sliding like a hockey puck. I'm gonna point at my oven. It's just starting to kick on now. Isn't that amazing? The trick, by the way. My oven broiler elements are just starting to turn on. I can see them turning red, which is ideal. So let's launch this thing. I don't know if you guys can see this. The back of my peel is gonna go to the back of the steel, and I just smoothly take a deep breath and make it happen. Watch this. Back of the peel to the back of the steel, and just forward and backward motion. Did it. We launched successfully, right? And now, let me get time, right? Timer, really important, 2 minutes. I've got the broiler on. 2 minutes we find in this oven with my baking steel is adequate. At 2 minutes, I'm gonna take a peek. I'm gonna open the oven up and make sure it's not like getting too dark in any particular place. And then after 2 minutes, I'm gonna turn the broiler off and use the regular convection bake for the remaining time, which might be another 2 minutes. And then afterwards, we'll top our pizza. That's probably a great spot for you guys to ask some questions. So fire away.
Do you use all-purpose or bread?
Ooh, do I use all-purpose or do I use bread flour? So for our pizza dough, generally speaking, we love organic bread flour or organic, high-protein flour. We use something from Central Milling. It's called their organic high gluten flour, which is the equivalent to a King Arthur bread flour. Both are great products. Janie's Mill has another one, a great bread flour. Awesome, also great. My recommendation is to explore and try different things until you find one that you just love. And that's what we did.
Size of the cracked pepper.
Ooh, that's a good question. So I literally took my coffee grinder and just ground this stuff up. And you can see, I'll give you a close up. Sometimes I'll do it by hand. I hope you guys can see the peppercorns here. Ish. See those? Not huge. Sometimes if I do it by hand, I'll just smash them with like something. I will find them to get a little bigger. I do love the peppercorns. 10 seconds left. Broiler's on. We should be good. Let's see. I'm gonna pause. Let's take a peek. Oh wow! Look at that. My ice cream trick didn't work too well. Awesome. Smoke. Anyway, you guys can see here. It almost blew up a little bit too much. 2 minutes may have been too long. I'm going to move it to the bottom steel just so it doesn't get too dark. And it actually already did. I'm turning the broiler off now, and I'm going to cook this for maybe another 90 seconds. Because now I want the bottom to catch up to the top, which I overcooked. Didn't use enough ice cubes. This is awesome, but it'll still be incredible and beautiful, just not perfect. But I can't remember the last time I actually made a perfect pizza. Can you, Craig?
Last week.
Craig made one last week. How about you guys? You ever make a perfect pizza before?
What if you only have one steel?
If I only had one steel, I would be bird dogging it more than I did. My kitchen oven hack is actually working way better than I guess anticipated, meaning that broiler's on for the full 2 minutes, which it probably needed 90 seconds. So I should have opened the oven up earlier, and I didn't. Got distracted. So that's where, if I only had one steel, by the way, that's what I would do. I would check it after 60 seconds, and then if it's not ready, check it again at 90 seconds.
Are you making multiple pizzas, or do you constantly change back on the settings for boiler?
If I'm on,
one steel making multiple pizzas.
Yeah, so the question is, if I'm making multiple pizzas, do I go back and forth between broiler and bake? If I'm making multiple, I will leave the broiler on for maybe 2 or 3 rounds, and then I'll give it a break. Otherwise, it might get too hot. But typically, if I'm making one pizza, yeah, I'll just go back and forth.
What do you do if your oven door has to be open for the boiler to work? That's still a thing.
If the oven has to be open, that's interesting.
Steel's perfect for it.
That means the steel's probably perfect for that. It's not ideal. I wonder if it's getting too hot inside. That's probably what's happening. That's why you need to open your door up, probably. But anyway, let's take a look at this pizza. Oh, it looks amazing. This is so good. This is good. I love my poker face. All right, so our bottom actually is perfect. Beautiful. So let's see this. Not perfect pizza. Bottom cooked awesome, right? Top way too dark, right? Isn't that awesome? So, but it's cool. So you can see the ice cubes worked here. I just didn't have enough, right? So I didn't use. I only used 4. I probably should have used 5 or 6. This dough like really blew up on me. However, this is really going to be beautiful because what I can do now is dress it off, okay? In fact, I want to take a picture of this because it's so awesome before. And I can show these pictures to you guys. I wasn't really taking selfies. I can show these pictures to you guys afterwards. But anyway, let's get back to this, okay? my next trick is going to be, I don't think the order of this matters so much, but I'm going to douse it with olive oil. Okay. Like I'm being generous. I'm making like a pool of olive oil here. And then the palm reg. Again, I'm being super generous. Like think of tableside dining. I'm going to serve this at your table, right? And now the pepper, a pool of pepper. And this is one of those pizzas that you're going to really rip with your hands. You're not going to use a knife. I'm going to kind of rip this thing apart. I'll take some more pictures so I can share them with you guys later. Probably a little bit aggressive on the darkness, but that's all right. I think it looks cool. Beautiful. Cacio e Pepe. So my second one, if I was gonna make a second pizza, I would lighten up. I would actually add some more ice cubes. With the broiler, to be honest, this worked awesome. And this oven's just so good, so hot. I should have bird dogged it more. But at the same time, like this is just, I actually love the char on this pizza. It's beautiful. What do you think, Chef?
I think it looks cool.
Good? Yeah, it's gorgeous. So any other questions from you guys?
We got a few.
Let's do it.
If you don't have a wood countertop, what do you recommend? Prep dough? Do you need silicone mat? What do you suggest?
So we have wood here behind me. I've got soapstone right here. Both are great. Yeah, I mean, if you want to prep it on, get a nice cutting board, something made out of wood, but it doesn't really matter too much. In fact, a lot of restaurants will use granite as their dough surface just because it's cooler.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
We do have a YouTube channel, and it's YouTube. Just search Baking Steel at YouTube, and we're putting these classes back up on there. And we also have some shorter videos, some how-to stuff, and always looking for recommendations from you guys.
What are the dimensions of the skinny griddle?
The skinny griddle, great question. Got one right here. Sorry about that. So this is 11.5 by 20 inches. It fits beautifully over 2 burners on your oven. And I'm going to show you guys quickly here. Let's see. Can you see that, Chef? Kind of.
Yeah. Yes.
It fits beautifully over 2 burners, and it doesn't interfere with the other 2 burners are over here. It's just awesome.
What other pizzas would you use ice control for?
Anytime I'm cooking the pizza naked. So one of our famous recipes from Alexandra Stafford, she does a naked pesto pizza, which we do the same thing. So quite a few. So in fact, there's another pizza we love to do with like hummus, like just make your own hummus and spread it on after you bake your pizza. And it's delicious.
Where do you buy your flour?
Our flour that we're using for class today was purchased from centralmilling.com. And it's an organic company, and the flours are amazing.
Do you season your steels like cast iron?
I do. Our seals are seasoned out of the box, ready to rock and roll. And each time I use mine, especially in the beginning, I will wash it and dry it and then oil it afterwards. And I like to use avocado oil. I like to use flaxseed oil, coconut oil, even canola oil. A really, really thin layer after I clean it up.
What brand micro scale do you recommend?
Ooh, that's a great question. I would just search micro scale on Amazon and read the reviews. I don't have a particular brand that I'm fond of. I would just read the reviews.
Make sure it's by itself, not attached to it.
Yeah, that's a good question. Make sure you're buying the micro scale. Ours here, it's just that it's an individual scale. It's not built into the main scale. This is, I don't even know the brand on this one. It's Salter, S-A-L-T-E-R, if it's still available. Great.
What was your recipe for the dough?
The recipe for the pizza dough is our 72-hour dough, which is available on our site. It's available on our Instagram. You can email us at info@bakingsteel.com. It's on our YouTube channel. It's 72-hour dough. It's awesome.
After the room temperature rises, do you punch the dough before it goes into the fridge?
Do not. Nope. I take the dough from in the bulk state and move it into the fridge. And sometimes when I'm walking over, I can see it like the degassing a little bit, but I do not punch it down first.
Can I use my granddaughter's Easy Bake Oven to bake a pizza?
Can I use my granddaughter's Easy Bake Oven to bake a pizza? How hot does it get? Would be my question. We can make a custom toy baking steel for it. Yeah, we have a mini that might fit in there.
That's it.
All right, that's all the questions. You guys rocked. This pizza rocked, by the way. If you can see this, it's gorgeous. A lot of char on it, which is awesome. It's going to be amazing. And thank you guys. We hope you liked it. We hope that, and we'll be back again next week to do this again. So any requests, just let us know. And thank you. Happy Wednesday.